For your summative for A Raisin in the Sun, you are going to create a comic strip based on one of these essential questions. So what you're going to do is choose one of these 7 essential questions, just one of them, and you're going to answer that. You already answered it right for yourself, but now you're going to answer it in terms of the play. So there's going to be another video that is going to go over how to make this in Canva. I didn't want to create one ginormous video, so it's just a couple of videos, a couple of short videos for you to watch. So what you're going to do is your comic is going to look like this. You have 6 panels. And in your first panel, you're going to have your intro. So once you've decided what essential question you're going to use, then in panel number 1, okay, so this panel right here, you are going to write a 2 to 3 sentence summary of the play. And your first sentence should include the author and the title of the play. The title needs to be in italics, and you need to end it with your thesis statement. And essentially, I've written out what your thesis statement should look like, but it should be based on what essential question you use. Okay. So then, based on your essential question, you're going to, like, let's say you choose what is freedom? Okay, so when you go down to this step 3, you're going to ignore everything on here except number 2, because this one has to do with freedom. So you don't care about anything else here except for this one here. You're like, okay, well, I chose freedom, so this is my task. For this one, I ask you to address all 4 main characters, Walter, Ruth, Benita, and Mama. Show what freedom is for all 4 characters. Use specifics from the play. So that means for this panel, this panel, this panel, and this panel, I am showing what freedom means for Ruth, what freedom means for Walter, what freedom means for Benita, what freedom means for Mama in these panels. And you have to decide how you're going to do that, right? When you go down to the scoring guide, I want... It needs to be visually appealing, well organized, speech bubbles, illustrations, things like that to show it. So when I'm grading it, it shouldn't look, like this, right? And it shouldn't have just dialogue. There should be characters in here. There should be speech bubbles. There should be, other things. It should look like a comic strip, right? If you look, I gave you a blank one because I wanted you to be able to be as creative as you wanted to be. But, if you look over here at other templates, there are, different, things that people did, right? So it should have color, it should have speech bubbles, it should have all of those things, and visual representation, right? So it should be less words and more visual is really what I'm getting at there. And then the last panel that is here is for your conclusion, and your conclusion is really answering or ending this sentence. Hansberry's purpose for writing A Raisin in the Sun is to make readers aware of. And what is she trying to make readers aware of, do you think? What's her main message in the play? Think about the poem that we read in the beginning. Think about Walter's decision in the end. What do you think the main focus is? This is the scoring guide. I'm not going to read it because you can read that. But notice that there's the visual representation, grammar, and mechanics. If it's all just words, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm really looking for less words, more visual. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.